As a mother, Jinji was clearly lacking in fulfilling her maternal duties. One day, when she walked into her daughter's room, she suddenly realized her daughter had sneaked out at some point. Anxiously, she rushed back to her bedroom, grabbed her phone, and called her daughter. However, there was no response from the other end. This time, Daisy was already drunk in Zapar and couldn't notice her mother's call. Fortunately, a kind young man drove her home. Seeing this, Jinjae quickly opened the door and motioned for the young man to put her daughter on the sofa first. Jinjae was full of gratitude towards this kind-hearted young man, because if it weren't for him, her daughter might have ended up on the streets tonight. She wanted to invite the young man to sit for a while and have a glass of water before leaving, but the young man politely declined, understanding that Jinjae's heart was surely filled with worry for her daughter, even if she couldn't decline in front of him. Jinjae is the principal of a high school. The next day, she went to school and was surprised to find that the young man who brought her daughter him last night was actually a student of her school. She hurried back to the office and began searching through the young man's personal file, only to find out that his name was Fuki, and he was an exceptionally outstanding student. She looked out of the playground, her mind filled with countless thoughts. A few days later, Miss Jin called Fuki to the office. Fuki didn't seem surprised to see Miss Jin. After all, in this high school, everyone knew that Daisy and Principal Jin were mother and daughter. Looking at Fuki, Miss Jin once again expressed her gratitude for that night, and even told Fuki that if he encountered any difficulties at school, he could come to her anytime. This made Fuki feel a bit flattered, and after a few polite exchanges, he left. That afternoon, Fugu was sweating profusely on the basketball court, while Daisy watched the boys play from a distance. Suddenly, two girls rushed onto the court, running towards Fugu. This scene happened to be seen by Miss Jin. Seeing the two girls looking at Fugu with admiration, Principal Jin felt a bit displeased. She called the two girls out and scolded them under some pretext. The two girls looked bewildered, but could only awkwardly bow their heads and admit fault. What Principal Jin never expected was that her daughter somehow ended up with Fugi. Fist with her rebellious daughter. Miss Jin was at a loss. In the evening, she went to Daisy's bedroom, where Daisy was on a video call with Fugu. Seeing her mother suddenly come in, Daisy helplessly hung up the call. Because of the situation with Fugi, Genji advised her daughter to focus on her studies, worried that she was too young and might not handle a relationship well. However, Daisy didn't listen to her mother, saying she was already an adult and had the right to pursue her own love. The next day, Daisy brought Fugi home, intending to annoy her mother. The day, Daisy went out again to hang out with her bad friends. Unaware, Fugi came to his house. It was Genji who opened the door, with bruises on her face. Fugi was very worried, afraid that Daisy and her mother had a physical fight. At this moment, Miss Jin no longer had the elegance she showed at school, revealing a vulnerable side. Fugi could only keep assuring that he would take good care of Daisy and not let Miss Jin worry about her daughter. Seeing Fugi being so sensible and obedient, Jinji finally felt at ease as a mother. After all, every move silenced her daughter and in time felt uttered it.